Hey, so I've had a couple of my friends ask me these questions, which I would assume, I don't know, are normal questions for people when they find out you have Asperger's. I don't know why people want to know this, but I may be biased because to me it's not something super special. But, and I'm self soothing right now when I rub my head. This is something I'm doing to cope because I'm really not okay and I've been out in public for entirely too long and I need to go back to my room where it's dark and wrap up in my blankets. But whatever, because I'm starting to get seriously overstimulated and I'm very, 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 very agitated. Um, I don't know if every person on the spectrum has special interests. Um, Apparently, everyone thinks that girls are good at math and are book nerds. And I guess it's assumed all guys love cars and electronics. My special interests are psychology, medical knowledge, firearms, martial arts, art, all types of art from painting to drawing to spray paint, all sorts of arts and crafts from knot work to beadwork to sewing. Um, Another one of my special interests, believe it or not, is camping. I love finding new ways to make tents, and I guess you'd call it bushcraft. That's something I enjoy because anything I can do with my hands that distracts me from everything around me helps. Um, those are my special interests. Example, you can show me an area and I can tell you the type of tent or shelter you can build there and how long it should take you based on your skill level. If you show me a firearm, I can usually, within 90% of the ones, because I don't know every firearm in the world, I can tell you the caliber, I can tell you the range, I can usually tell you the muzzle velocity, I can tell you the effective range versus the maximum range. I can pick one up and hit just about anything, even if it's not sighted, because of muscle memory. Let's see, when it comes to arts and crafts, I can look at something and almost instantly tell you what color will go with it or what you can do at what price to make it look better. Or I mean, it's weird. Like, I have a mind for numbers. Like, I can look at something and tell you how much it would cost to buy it on a budget versus if you had a limitless budget. When it comes to fashion, I can tell you almost within a 75 to 85% accuracy what would look good on you and what colors and where you can get it and how much you can pay and the type of materials that would be best for you. I'm not so good with makeup. I mean, I'm kind of butch anyhow, but usually I just go with like some mascara and wings. But it depends. But I have a natural eye for fashion. I have since I was a kid. Those are my special interests. When it comes to tactical stuff or loadouts for things, whether it's airsoft or actual combat, based on if you're right-handed or left-handed or what you're doing or what you're carrying, I can tell you exactly where you need to put everything and how long it'll take you to get to it and how easy it is versus anywhere else. And I can run through any scenario, any combat scenario, any positioning that could possibly occur anywhere you are in a matter of seconds and tell you the most efficient way to do something. Because my brain automatically does the geometry and the possibilities of what people can and can't do, limited by the physical obstacles in the area, and that takes me under a few seconds to go through in my head. It's crazy the type of stuff that I... It's weird what my brain does, and it's hard to explain it. It's easier for me to write things down. It's really difficult for me to vocalize things. It's hard for me to describe things. when it comes down to describing feelings, I can't really describe feelings, but I can paint you a picture. Like I can actually verbally draw you an image that people can understand. Like I wrote a poem to my girlfriend last night about how she's a sunset, and I explained how every color related to something about her, and that's how I see her. But other people would say love or something, and that is Asperger's, that is autism, that is mine, that is my Asperger's. I don't know what anyone else goes through, but I do know that when it comes to my perception, a lot of things are reactive in my head as far as colors and sounds. I can taste colors. I can, hear colors, which I forget what that's called. It's actually a hardwiring in the brain. Oh, gosh. Dysng or something, I forget. I haven't heard about it in years, but it's a real thing. And apparently, I just discovered this, it is quite often associated with sensory processing disorders like Asperger's and autism and sensory seeking and sensory avoiding. I'm more of a sensory seeking person, but I like to do it alone in my own time. I don't like going out in public. Going anywhere in public for me there's a time frame, and if I don't feel safe or comforted with who I'm with, I don't want to be there. My girlfriend is one of probably 3 whole people that I feel safe going in public with. My sister Shelby is one, my girlfriend, and honestly, he's not my brother, but he's like a brother, Robert. Those are the only 3 people I really feel safe in public with, and I can be out in public with them all day long. All day, and I will not want to leave. I will not want to run away. I'm happy there in that moment because I feel safe and secure by them. And I'm about to fucking cry because this is a really sensitive topic for me. But it's really hard for me to even go out to the mailbox because there's people, and I'm constantly worried that something I've done or something I've said is going to make me the center of attention, and I cannot stand people focusing on me. I just want to disappear. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be looked at. I don't want anyone. I don't want to fit in. Please don't misunderstand this for the desire to be accepted, because I don't care about that. I just want to be left alone. I want people to just go about their day, not look at me, not bother me, just go do what they do. And I'm so terrified that I'm going to come onto someone's radar and I'm going to become a problem. And one of my biggest issues is I don't want to be difficult for anyone. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a problem. I don't want to be that person. You know what I mean? Oh, well, she has a lot of needs and she's so high maintenance. And I try so hard not to ask for help or to tell people I need this help. And a lot of that is when I tell people, they act like it's not a big deal. Meanwhile, I'm falling apart mentally. For a while, and this is a daily battle, I self-mutilate. And I haven't in a while, but I'm a cutter. I was. And look, if you're a cutter, it's not cool. It's a serious thing. It was a sensory thing for me, and it helped me cope when nobody gave a shit. And I still feel like people don't care. Because if I sit here and explain to you over and over that I need this allotment, I need this accommodation, and it's refused, I internalize. And I just implode hardcore. And to me, people who create that scenario with someone are selfish. They're self-centered, and they are the least efficient human beings you will meet, because it's all about them. It's all about what they want and how they want it. And I've dealt with people like that a lot in my life. So I learned to be happy alone, away from people. For 6 months, this was year before last, I lived in the Olympic Mountains out of my blazer. And it was snowing and raining for probably 2/3 of that time. The Olympic Mountains are up by Kitsap County, over towards Seattle. Anywho, I'm on the opposite side of the state right now, but I lived in my blazer, alone, in the woods, and I came down once a month to get gas for my truck, maybe some food. Otherwise, I survived up there on my own. For the simple fact, I was exhausted with humanity and civilization. It's so stressful to try and blend in and follow other people's wants when nobody cares what you want. You know what I mean? Having Asperger's, someone described it to me this way, and this is the most perfect thing I've ever heard. Imagine you, whoever you are watching this, you've grown up here, you've spoken this language, whatever your language is, if you know what I mean. You know one way of being, and suddenly you wake up in a different country where everyone is screaming and there's a riot and just utter chaos in a language you don't know, in a social structure you don't know, in a land where you know nothing and no one. That is what every day of having autism or Asperger's for me is like. It is literally being in a state of chaos and surrounding. I am in chaos because of it, but it's literally being placed in a chaotic environment where I don't understand. And it's being explained to me in a foreign language that I don't even know the language. It's not like I can learn it. I don't know the language at all. And people expect me to just figure it out and get it. Some people with Asperger's, and I'm not going to speak for everyone. I am one of these, though. You have to sit us down and talk to us and explain in tiny, minute detail what's going on. Otherwise, we freak out. And that is every day of my life. So, hopefully this helps someone out there understand a little better. Love you guys. Odin bless. Have a good night.